Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Imagineers Disney Podcast, episode 4, actually. We are happy to be with you again. Once again, my name is Matt, and I am here with Susie.
Hi, that's me.
Hope you guys are having a fantastic week. And today, we are both really excited to talk about today's subject, which is one of our favorite events of the year, twice a year, at Walt Disney World. And that is Dapper Day.
Can't contain my excitement. Not just to talk about Dapper Day, but it's right around the corner and getting everything ready to go and just super excited.
Yeah, it's getting really close for Walt Disney World. And actually Disneyland had theirs this past weekend. Huge turnout as always. So the Walt Disney World one will actually be this coming Friday, the 27th, and will run through the 29th. So you have 3 days of Dapper Day fun wearing your Sunday best. So for those of you who don't know what Dapper Day is, some of you may be really confused. Some of you be like, oh yeah, this is my favorite thing of the year. Well, Dapper Day was actually started by a gentleman named Justin Jorgensen. And it was actually back in 2011 was the very first Dapper Day. It took place in Disneyland. And Justin actually, and from what I understand, it was like a decade before the actual first event. He was inspired by concept art of old Disneyland photos and artwork where, with the attractions, and then the people in the background are basically dressed to the nines. They're in, suits and dresses, and the kids are dressed up. And he really kind of stuck to that idea and this would be really cool. I want to kind of go back to this thought where, going to the parks was an event.
Right. I'm guilty too. There's nothing wrong with it, of the leggings and the t-shirts and the messy hair, just being comfortable because it's hot in Florida. But yeah, there's something just so special about that time period when, you're right, an event, I think, is just the best way to phrase it. Everything was an event. We make fun of Mrs. Cleaver for wearing her pearls while doing the dishes on Leave It to Beaver. But that era, there was just something, people knew how to dress and everything was just special. It's so cool. We can keep that going.
Yeah. So Justin's whole idea was to bring that to modern times and for people to experience that in the Disney parks. So let me get this, say this right off the bat. So this is not an official Disney event. Disney does not sponsor this, but they allow this to take place. So it's a meetup. And just to show you how much it has actually grown since its inception in 2011, the Spring Disneyland in 2011 had roughly, they think to be 100 participants. And it was put up on social media and 100 people showed up. And then last spring in Disneyland, they had over 25,000 people.
Oh my gosh.
25,000
What a
people.
huge jump in just a few years. And can you imagine being one of the 100 people that first year? I mean, I think we mentioned this on an earlier podcast, but when you're there for Dapper Day and you're in the parking lot, walking to the Ticket and Transportation Center, and you're like, okay, I really need to see someone else dress up because I'm pretty sure it's today. I checked my calendar, it's today. And then you finally see a group of people and you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, but 100 people, everyone would be like, wait. I mean, no one would have any idea what's going on. That would be so funny.
And Walt Disney World isn't quite yet to those numbers. It's definitely most popular in Disneyland, but I think it's starting to catch on here in Florida. So
yeah, especially now that we've got 2 days of it. It's, people come and make a whole weekend of it. Dapper Day weekends. So
keep it growing. What do you wear, you ask? Well,
yes, fashionista Matt.
Oh, no. I'm actually going to, and don't get me wrong, guys, you can totally wear, you can totally come to this event and dress up.
No joke, but what you're wearing now would probably pass too. Guys have it so easy for Dapper Day.
So I'm a big flat cap person, so.
Always acceptable at Dapper Day.
Every day is Dapper Day for me.
Fedoras, bow tie, and you're ready to go. Girls, not so much. We've got our work cut out for us.
So their big motto, their big mantra is step out in style. So popular stuff is, 50s and 60s, but they don't limit it to those decades and those eras for dress. Contemporary looks are also really great. And just, wear what you think is best, whatever you think makes you look dapper.
Yeah, have fun with it. Some people get really, really creative. They go all out. Don't be intimidated or think you have to spend like, a lot of money or hundreds of dollars on something. Like I see people in like these really sequenced like flapper dresses, and or the ladies with the perfect hair and the victory rolls in their hair with, by the way, I cannot figure out. So whatever, I just can't get that to work. But
I think one of the best ones, a couple stick out in my mind, and they're actually Disney characters, and that is perfectly acceptable. Kind of wearing, the dapper attire and kind of theming in with your favorite Disney character. But I remember one year seeing Mary Poppins, but like the white, the white dress.
I want to try that one year. That always looks good.
And then another one that I saw that I really loved was Dreamfinder. So the guy was dressed up as Dreamfinder, and he had Figment, and that was really cool. And one guy one year had a red tux, and he looked like Baymax.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I've seen some really, really good Disney bounding outfits. A couple of my favorite, Dapper bounding, I guess, is the, combo phrase. I saw a girl who had a white flapper dress, and she had her hair in buns, and she was with a guy who had like a blue pinstripe pants and like a white button-up shirt and a black vest. And so they were obviously like 1920s gangster Han and Leia, which was really cute. And then there's like this big group of girls I saw a couple years ago who were all like the Avengers Disney bounding, and they went, their hair, their makeup was like in the same color, and they had like Letterman jackets with like Thor had, big Mjolnir on the back, and they went all out. I had to go up to them and be like, you guys look amazing, because I was blown away by the amount of dedication they put into it.
And you did Peggy Carter one year, didn't you?
I did do Peggy Carter. Peggy Carter, first of all, if any ABC executives are listening to this, as I'm sure you are, please bring Peggy Carter back for just like a TV movie. It just needs some closure. Also, bring her back for like 5 more seasons, because that show's great. Yeah, but she's also in the first Captain America movie, very 1940s, which is kind of what my Dapper Day outfits are this year. I really like the simplicity of the 1940s looks, the straighter dresses, the less makeup, so I don't have to stress out over a cat eye because I'm just not great at makeup. Yes, I did Peggy Carter with the red hat and the white shirt and the blue pants, skirt, suit thing. It was fun. Everyone's like, are you Jessie? I'm like, no. I'm Peggy Carter. Like, oh, okay.
Because your last one was a little bit more obvious with Mary Poppins.
Yeah, Mary Poppins. So. Yeah, that one's probably the most expensive stuff I've spent on Dapper Day, just because I had to get an umbrella, and I got a Mary Poppins inspired looking hat from online, and a carpet bag, which came in handy. Everyone put their stuff in it, and it weighed like 50 pounds throughout the day. I got such a workout carrying that.
Handy for them, maybe not for you. But
yeah, but even then, like, I didn't spend that much. So again, you don't have to go overboard. Goodwill is your friend.
Right. Yeah.
Amazon is your friend.
Goodwill, thrift stores, just hit those up, rate them. They're going to have some good stuff. So you can find anything that fits the theming for Dapper Day, and you will be ready to go.
And just ladies, another thing that is your friend is Pinterest for makeup and hair tips. A lot of times Pinterest, instead of like watching a whole video on YouTube, you can just watch or you can see like a graphic on Pinterest that just shows you like pictures of the steps. Saves you a lot of time, and you can find something that works for you pretty easy.
So this year's dates, once again, are Friday, April 27th through Sunday, April 29th. So the event actually kicks off on Friday evening. They're having a kickoff event at the Edison at Disney Springs from 7 to 10. And then I think it's actually going to go a little later than that. But so what happens with the Edison on every night is after 10 o'clock, they require everyone to be 21 and older. There isn't a cover charge, but from 7 and 10, everyone can come in, and then from 10 to close, it's going to be 21 and older only. There'll be dancing, there'll be specialty cocktails that they have made just for this event, and Dapper Day merchandise will be available as soon as you enter into the Edison. Once again, no cover charge. And if any of you have not been to the Edison yet, I'm trying to describe it like it's style, like it's very.
I haven't been, so I'm like hanging on everything you're saying. Like, what is it?
It's like steampunkish, but I would gothic kind of industrial, very cool theming, and the menu and drink menu is also great too. So just be sure to go check that out. And so that is the kickoff event on Friday evening. And then on Saturday, it's because the actual Dapper days in the parks are actually over 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. Day 1 being in Magic Kingdom, day 2 being in Epcot. And I'm sure Susie has more than one outfit, 2 outfits.
Of course I do.
2 outfits, 1 per day. Don't want to wear the same thing.
Yeah, I am though recycling a few items from Dapper days gone by, which is the great other thing I suggest when you're shopping for Dapper Day. Don't get something that, I mean, you can wear it more than once. Like I've also worn some of this stuff to like work or church just because I think it's cute and it's kind of quirky and vintage. Yeah, but I've got 2 outfits planned. I got a new dress. I'm so excited. And then the other stuff is everything's recycled. So I only spent like $25 this year on Dapper Day stuff. Yeah.
So that first day is in Magic Kingdom. And so I know in years past, a big popular thing was to do the Liberty Bell riverboat in Liberty Square, but it is under refurbishment until July.
Aww.
So that's sad. But another popular place to gather with your fellow Dapper Day peoples is at Prince Charming Regal Carousel. I know a lot of times this is referred to the Dapper Derby.
We did that in the fall. You ride in, you take pictures, and definitely when the ride is over, get up and get off, or the cast members will yell at you. I don't know that from personal experience.
Yes, take your pictures before the carousel starts. Don't hang around afterwards. For the sake of the children trying to get on. So don't be that guy. Don't be that guy.
Do you have any other favorite Dapper Day photo op locations that you can recommend? I have a few, but
I'm trying to think.
Do you like the purple wall?
The updated purple wall.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm okay with it. I think it looks good. But there's something about that clean
just
background,
purple.
Purple without the little extra stuff. Although I'm fine with the extra stuff. You can do both in the same spot. You just gotta kind of reframe.
Yeah, see which one gets more Instagram likes.
Mm-hmm.
Post them both.
Trying to think. Is there anything else?
Well, I mean, there's just like Magic Kingdom. It's
Main Street. Anywhere on Main Street.
Yeah. If you look like you are in that correct. I mean, I know Main Street is more like early, turn of the century-esque 1910s or whatever time, but you still like fit in there. I feel. Stand
there at Casey's Corner with your hot dog.
Mm-hmm. And then let's see. Oh, and then always when you're bounding, Dapper Day or otherwise, try to take pictures with your character you are inspired by. I think that's fun. And I'll get to Epcot in a second. It's so vain, but we love taking a lot of pictures during Dapper Day. So we've gotten creative with our photo op spots.
So also that day, and don't want to miss this, especially if you're, you don't have maybe everything that you need for Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to the Dapper Day Expo, which is Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Grand Floridian. So you can actually go, and it's a free 1-day boutique of all Dapper Day merchandise, and there's a bunch of new merchandise coming in from Charles Phoenix clothing collections, pinup girl clothing.
Your favorite?
Oh yes. These are actual
brands.
Not
actual pinup girls. They have cute stuff though. For real.
Pinup girl, and then Retro Mended, which is a bunch of just like retro old clothes. And then they actually have an African print fashions from a local Orlando-based company called Akanbi. Hope I'm not butchering that name. Akanbi. So
that sounds fun.
Yeah, so there's going to be lots of options, different tastes, for everyone. So you can go in and update your wardrobe and maybe try out some new stuff for Saturday or Sunday.
I'm gonna spend so much money. I just know it. I know it's gonna be good. This is our first like expo at Disney World. They do a huge one over at Disneyland each year for Dapper Day. I mean, it's just they have people doing hair, makeup. I think they have like a tattoo corner, just massive shopping areas. It's large.
It's pretty big. So, but you know, the addition to this stuff being in the Grand Floridian is a nice addition. So then the last day of the weekend will be taking place at Epcot. So it is a repeat of the day before. So wear your best and stroll into Epcot. Flower and Garden Festival is going on right now. So your colorful dresses and coats and shirts and ties
fit right
into the theme. So there's going to be lots of photo opportunities around World Showcase and Future World for you to get some great photos.
I really like the pictures in World Showcase of Dapper Day because it looks like, you know, someone like on their holiday or their vacation from the 1950s, and it's really fun. If you're Disney bounding, also, here's another tip. Go to the country of origin of your character. I did Belle a couple years ago. Spoiler alert, I'm doing Belle again on Epcot. Except this time instead of like yellow ball gown Belle, I'm, what's it called? Blue dress Belle?
Blue dress Belle?
Blue dress Belle?
Regular Belle?
Regular Belle, chill Belle. And so like you'll take pictures in France, or if you're Snow White.
And that's actually the Belle that's there. It's like with the blue dress. So it'll be even better.
Oh, I can't wait to meet her in our blue dresses and just, you know, be silly. I feel like Dapper Day is so fun, but it's also kind of silly with everyone twirling and flowy dresses. And
I think Alice from Alice in Wonderland would be another really good one.
Mary Poppins.
Yes.
Over in the UK. And then when was this? Last spring, she had Bert with her when I went and met her, and they were just fantastic together. And I'll actually, like, this isn't Dapper Day related, but I'll never forget this. There was a person in line who had some special needs, and I will never forget how Bert and Mary, you know, so in character interacted with them, and it was just the sweetest thing that I've ever seen. Both of them together speaking with the little girl. It was so sweet. It was just great meeting.
Yeah, that's really cool. And you know, the cast members are great with kids, and especially kids with special needs. You know, I saw a kid one time that I'm pretty sure was with Make-A-Wish, and just, you know, the best they were having the best time ever. So it's a special place for those kids, and the cast members definitely help that. But
they do. And then I don't want to give away my secret sauce, but I have another Dapper Day secret that I tell people. So Dapper Day is at Epcot and Magic Kingdom, but like, where at Disney World can you take really cool Art Deco mid-century pictures?
Hollywood Studios. Sunset Boulevard.
Sunset Boulevard. We go there probably like late afternoon each Dapper Day, and to take a couple of extra pictures. There are less people there, so if you're new to Dapper Day or you're just not used to people staring at you, don't go. I mean, I don't know why people would be staring at you in general, but like if you're wearing a, you know, big poofy dress, they're going to look at you in Hollywood Studios because there's less people. A couple of people know this trick of the trade, but great places for pictures.
Yeah, they've had it. They've actually had Dapper Day events at Hollywood Studios in the past.
It's so tricky now. Yeah, with everything going on though. Yeah, but yeah, Hollywood Boulevard, Sunset Boulevard. Over like there's an old Coke stand and like the old like gas station.
Yep.
Those are really cute. I got the cutest picture of my parents one time. They're just so precious. Looks like a postcard, like a what's his name? Norman Rockwell, right?
Yes, Norman Rockwell.
I'm so cultured. Yes. Or like one of those old like Coca-Cola advertisements.
And speaking of additional parks, so fast forward a little bit, later on in the year, we'll go ahead and give you the other dates for the additional Dapper Day events throughout 2018. There will be an event in Disneyland Paris, September 15th. And then Once again, Disneyland will be hosting their Fall Dapper Day on November 3rd through 4th. And Walt Disney World will be hosting their Fall Dapper Day from November 17th through 18th. And this year, they're actually doing something a little different. The 17th, they are going to be both in Animal Kingdom in the morning and early afternoon. Mm-hmm. And then from 3 to 5, they're going to do the switch over to Magic Kingdom. So I am really interested. Oh, and then the 18th is going to be in Epcot. So I'm really interested in seeing Dapper Day ideas for Animal Kingdom.
Yeah. I don't know, like Dapper Pandora.
You could do maybe Jane from Tarzan.
I mean, that's really all I can think of is Jane from Tarzan, or you're just like a Dapper safari goer.
Yeah, you could do,
or you could Disney bound as like A Bug's Life. I don't know.
Finding Nemo.
I've seen a couple Finding Nemos. Those are cute.
Those could work.
Yeah. I love Animal Kingdom, so like I'm not bashing it or this idea. I'm intrigued because like Animal Kingdom is such a different vibe in general.
I think I know going back to the expo, I know that maybe this African print.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if they did that on purpose.
Maybe.
They're pretty smart. If they did, they probably did.
So yeah, that's going to be really fun. So they're going to be Animal Kingdom, and then they will go to Magic Kingdom, and then Epcot on the 18th, and that is in November. So. And
by the way, just if you're planning, it's normally not much cooler in November.
No, it's not.
In Florida. So there's really not like spring, and I have like air quotes, spring and fall. It's technically spring and fall, but I mean, don't be planning on wearing like a fur coat or something to Fall Dapper Day.
But you could, because it has happened before. So yeah, November's kind of that gray area. It could be chilly. It could be really hot.
Yeah, so prepping for Dapper Day is tricky in the fall, but I mean, you can
just kind of keeping your eye out on those Weather Channel apps and forecasts the closer you get to those dates. So
I'm so excited. Do you have any other like last second inspirations for people who are getting ready? Anything for the guys? Oh, I mean, like guys have hair, like
right? Yeah,
right. I mean, like how do like what would you say for guys, like as far as maybe hair goes?
For hair, the classic part is always good. But as far for attire, I like vests. Vests and ties, bow ties. If you're going pastel colors. Another really fun one to kind of bound as a little bit. If you were a fan of the Dapper Dans, you could always do. Yeah. So smart. The Dapper Dan wardrobe idea is always a classic. So there are lots of options for guys. So do not feel discouraged. You can totally do it too.
Yeah. I mean, my whole family's into it. My dad, my brother, you're right, bow ties, vests. My dad is he's got this really cool like Mr. Rogers like cardigan that he just loves because it's so like Mad Men 60s vibe going on. So you can have a lot of fun with it, guys. It's not just for the ladies.
Ooh, so another really cool idea. And you can pick your decade for guys. You could cosplay as John from Carousel of Progress.
Oh my gosh, I've never thought of that. I mean, I'm not a guy, so like.
So yeah, like there's one where he has an ascot and sweater. So yeah, there's some options there. There's some ideas there, guys. So
just walk around singing the song, get it in everybody's head.
Annoy people to death. I'm kidding. I love Carousel.
I do too. Are you being sarcastic?
No, I am serious. I love Carousel because it is the one thing that we have that was Walt's idea. Like in the park. And Disneyland doesn't have it. It is Walt Disney World's.
Okay.
It is Walt's thumbprint.
Yeah.
In Walt Disney World. So
I mean, there's that. I just think it's fun too.
Now don't get me wrong. I think they need to update that last scene
Okay, real quick, but Dapper Day is all things vintage, so I still feel like this falls into that. Here's my theory. Like, that last one looks old because when you exit, you're like in modern day, and so you can like, oh, look how much we thought. Like, so it's like outside of the Carousel of Progress is like the last room, because now you're making fun of like how technologically advanced you thought they were when they were in the future.
Then I wish they would just go back to the original room. I mean, when she's still talking about how cool it is having a car phone. Oh dear.
Yeah, well.
There's our rant on Carousel of Progress for today, so hope you enjoyed that. But for real, use those ideas from John if you're a guy.
That's really smart.
So, well, everyone, I think that is going to do it for today's episode. We hope that you have taken these ideas and hope it helps you out for Dapper Day. And if you've never heard of Dapper Day, get down to Walt Disney World. Get over to Disneyland in the fall. Go enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, especially when you're with a group of friends.
Oh, yeah.
And once again, if you are looking at planning a trip to Walt Disney World, shoot me an email. I'd love to help you out for your vacation. Once again, our email address is matt@imagineerspodcast.com. And we'd love to hear from you guys. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to email us as well. And if you like the podcast, go and rate it. Once again, we are on iTunes and Stitcher and Google Play. So go rate the podcast, share it with your friends on social media, and we would greatly appreciate it. So thanks again for joining us for another episode of the Imagineers podcast. And everyone, remember to keep that spark of imagination alive. Remember what Walt always said, if you can dream it, you can do it.
See y'all next time.